What's up, everybody? This is Blazer Like Soda of TheBoneHeadClan, and this is Room for Rent Explained. What I'm going to be doing is try to explain the plot of the Room for Rent series throughout these few videos. They're going to be also titled Room for Rent Explained. It'll be Room for Rent 2 Explained, Room for Rent 3 Explained. So you get the idea of what the hell's going on in this show. It's sad that I have to do this because you can't actually understand what's going on in the show, because the show is so poorly put together, it's a piece of crap. But anyway, I did it. I started it, in the 7th grade, and it's like, this is my 3rd video. The first one being stupid. Is it the 3rd one? I mean, it's very early on, okay? Just get that through your head. It was bad, it got better, but when you start with crap, you're still working with crap. So, anyway, I'm just gonna give you the idea of what's going on. So, Room for Rent 1 starts out, and there's this guy, John Von Denzel. He owns this big mansion, he's rich. He's got a butler, he smokes weed, because he gets drugs. Who cares? He's rich, whatever, right? So his friends come over and they want to hang out with him. So they say, "John, what's up?" And John says nothing because his butler answers the door. How would John hear them? Anyway, the butler tells him, "Yeah, he's in the house. Come on in." And he's like, "John, your pals are here." And he says, "Tell them to fuck off." And then proceeds to invite them in, regardless of him telling them to fuck off. Yeah, I'm gonna be cursing throughout this, because this series is known for its cursing and corpses and poor production value, at least as of the early ones. Welcome to Room for Rent. Anyway, they go talk to him, they say hello. "Hey, how you doing?" "Hey, I'm doing great. Nobody gives a crap. Let's smoke some drugs." So they go and they smoke some weed, and then they drink some alcohol, and then they party and play poker. Which they'll be doing soon enough, so calm down. Actually, I've just filled you in through the next couple scenes. Room for Rent, when I first made it, this was like the setup for what I wanted it to be. I wanted Room for Rent to be a sitcom, and it was going to be 3 guys sharing the same apartment, which didn't come to fruition, which I'm kind of glad, because that sounds dumber than what Room for Rent is, which is pretty dumb to begin with. If somebody looked at this, if you could get somebody to look at this now, they would never know that. Well, I mean, hell, I don't even know what I would say if I looked at this now. If I didn't make this and I saw this, I wouldn't still be watching this. Not the Room for Rent Explained, but the Room for Rent show. You would never be able to get that this was supposed to be anything. I look at this now, and it's awful. You got crap all over the screen. Notifications pop up because it's Xbox. This is where they're playing poker right here. And soon enough, one notification pops up. I think it's Draco Hero pops up. Anyway, I'm rambling. Yeah, look, right there it is, right there. He's joining your fucking party. Fuck him. Anyway, John is high and drunk, and they're all high and drunk, and they're playing poker. For some reason, they all have guns, so he says, "There's no way you could possibly beat my hand." And I said, "You want to bet?" That's not what I said, that's what Bill said. I'm not in the show. I'm the camera. Anyway, he's like, "Yeah, I bet my whole house that my hand is unbeatable." And he bets his house, he loses, and he gets pissed off, and he starts breaking everything, which is what you see him doing now. Which, later in the show, the house is perfectly fine. He because as you know, this is a video game and Windows don't stay broken when you start a new match. You could just make the excuse that the Windows got repaired, I suppose. But anyway, he bets his house, he loses his house, he goes on a fit of rage, he shits on the doorstep, and then the next scene, they say, oh, hey, alright, you lost your house, goodbye. So this is like a case of your friends really aren't your friends, but it's kind of stupid and very poorly done. So they're telling him, alright, we own your house now, get the fuck out. And he's like, okay, butler, come on. The butler's like, no, why would I go with you? So he's like, alright, fuck you, and he runs away. And then, ignore the gun, I forgot to just use the camera view. He's going over this way, he's in search of a room for rent, ha 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 ha. And he finds it, he sees a sign. And then the rest of the video is pretty much inaudible. Actually, there isn't really much less of the video. Much less of the video. He's standing there. He says something that I don't even remember what he said. And that's it. Guy's friends come over. Well, let me see if I can sum it up in a sentence. There's a rich guy. His friends come over. He gets drunk. He bets his house in a game of cards. He loses. He goes in a fit of rage. Then he runs off to find an apartment. He finds an apartment. Now he's at that apartment. End of video. If you watch this, you would never be able to get any of that. You're just watching it, so that's why I'm doing Room for Unexplained. A failed sitcom pilot that turned into a full-fledged crap series, which I will be doing an explained of the rest of them, so goodbye. Hey everybody, this is Blazer Like Soda of the Bonehead Clan, and this is Room for Rent 2 Explained, where I will explain the plot of Room for Rent 2, which, as you know, is the sequel to Room for Rent 1, which I explained was crap. So, what do you get when you make a sequel to crap? You get more crap, I guess? Anyway, we focus on John from the last video, John Van Denzel, who he just lost his house in a game of cards because he's a drunken moron. And he was rich, now he's not rich anymore, he has nothing to his name. Except for the apparent guns and heavy weapons he carries around. Anyway, he wakes up in his burnt out apartment now. And there's this guy who shows up. And he says, hey. And John's like, who are you? And he says, hey. Because I don't know how to write dialogue. Well, I didn't know how to write dialogue. I know how to write it better now. I mean, a lot of it's still bad now, but it's better than it was. And, if you see the actual Room for Rent 2 video, you'll notice it's not a real voice, it's a soundboard. It's the soundboard of Bill from Left 4 Dead. The idea came from, there's this guy, So Fallen Films, made an unexpected guest, plays Halo 3, like Captain Price or Marcus Phoenix, so I wanted to take that concept and use it here. But I didn't know what I was doing, so it was shit. Anyway, he shows up, he's like, who are you? He's like, hey, he insults him, and then he burns down the house. And of course, I just take a clip from another game. And that looks like crap. Anyway, so he's like, oh no, my house is burned down. Whatever will I do? I'm angry. And so, instead of shooting this guy who just blew up his house, he says, hey, do you want to help me kill my other friends? And he says, okay. Still realized he's a soundboard. The dialogue isn't that bland. because either way, it's not good. So he's like, yeah, hey, okay. Burns down his house. Hey, you want to help me kill my friends? Sure, I'll help you kill your friends. Alright, we have to get on a train. Okay, now we are on said train. And they take the train. The train scene is shot from the inside and the outside, and it's about 2 minutes of just a train. Because I also, in addition to not knowing how to write dialogue, I didn't know how to make videos. I didn't know how to make them entertaining. So anyway, I'll just do a quick recap. John lost his house in the first video in a game of poker. He made a bet with his friends, and then he lost, so he lost his house. He found an apartment. The guy shows up, he blows up the apartment. Instead of getting mad at the guy who blew up the apartment, he gets angry at his friends and asks the guy who just blew up his new home if he wants to help him kill them. He says yes, cause plot and bad writing, and they take a train, which this whole scene, as I said, goes on for like 2 minutes, and a train takes them to Room for Rent 3. Actually, this is all you see of John and the new guy now. The other guy is Francis. Because, you know, why the fuck not, right? And then we shift to Bill, the guy who won the house. And there's actually no real plot in this one. Like, everything just kind of happens. Here, example. Billy's just standing there. And so he has the butler from the first video come up, and he says, "Butler, I have something very important to tell you." And the butler says, "Okay, what is it?" He said, "Here, it's on this piece of paper. Don't let any of the guards see you." He says, "Okay." And, you know, he goes downstairs. He goes on the computer into the files. He looks up this thing, like, "Whoa, what is this? It's major. He told me not to let anyone see it." Right? And he logs on, and it's a cancelled TheBoneHeadClan video. Not necessarily cancelled, just I never uploaded it as its own video. And it's a Batman video. And Bill in the show supposedly made this video. It was just an excuse for me to put it in the show. To show off more stuff and crap I did. You can actually find this video. I think it's the lost footage. It's called Batman. And there's two versions. There's the standard version and there's the HD version. Which the HD version isn't really HD, it just looks a hell of a lot better than the original version. Because I redid it, because I still had the old clips I found. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Let me remake it. What it was is, you know, the Joker's walking around. He's like, yeah, I just robbed this place. He. Oh no, it's Batman. He's gonna stop me. And Batman's like, I will stop you. And he says, no, you won't. And he runs away. And then Batman stops him. And, you know, Batman gets a kill streak. Anyway, the butler watches the video. He goes back up. Bill's like, what'd you think of it? And he said, oh, it was garbage. And he says, what? Screw you. No, it wasn't. He says, yes, it was. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. You're a ninny wagon. And then, you know, walks away. And then he follows him in anger. So the only important thing, if you can call it important, that happened was, you know, John's in his new crappy apartment. Random guy shows up. He burns down the apartment. John teams up with the guy who just burned down his house to go kill Bill. Haha, kill Bill. And they get on a train. And Bill makes his butler watch a video, which isn't important, but, you know, it happened. Room for Rent 3 explained. Yes! Oh, shit. Hang on, the mic came off. Fuck. Okay, this is Room for Rent 3 explained. Okay, Room for Rent 3 starts off with John and Francis. Francis is the guy who you're seeing from first person inside of the train they just hitchhiked onto. Is it hitchhiked? Stowaway! They stowed away on the train. And that's where you see them now, on that train cart. And they're being shot at. And John's shooting back at them. As you notice, he's not getting hit. That's because he's the main character. They're not getting hit either. You'll understand why in Room for Rent 4 explained. So anyway, they get off the train, there's an explosion, and they're running away from the bullets. And they're seen running away by your wonderful police force here. And so the police have mistaken John and Francis for the act of terrorism, I guess you could call it, that was committed upon the train by the hailstorm of bullets. As you know, they did not commit that crime, although they did commit the crime of being stowaways. So, they're fugitives now, so they need to get supplies, so they decide the only rational thing to do is to go to the local food, porn, and weed shop. Why do they go there? Why is it even a thing? Because the person who is voice acting for the main character decided it would be funny to say that. That's why there's a food, porn, and weed shop. And that's why they go to the food, porn, and weed shop. And there's a whole scene dedicated entirely to buying food, porn, and weed. Actually, they don't even buy any food. I think he says, hey, you got any snacks? And he says, no, just drugs. So actually, no, it's drugs, porn, and weed. Even though weed is a drug. Whatever. Shut up. Room for Rent 3 is actually based around... Not based around... The whole video consists mostly of the food, porn, and weed shop. So anyway, they get 60,000 tons of weed. They get a lifetime supply of porno. And they don't buy anything actually necessary for their survival. I suppose they don't need to. They could just rob somebody. I mean, look at all the guns. Actually, I'm not sure how this guy didn't kind of freak out when they walked in with all these guns on. I mean, granted, he's got a whole suit of armor, a gun, even a fucking shield on his back. Anyway, so while John's buying all this shit, you know, Francis is just looking around the store. Francis is the soundboard, by the way. And John's negotiating, because he doesn't want to pay more than a nickel for 10,000 tons of weed. And he manages to talk the guy down from millions of dollars to, I think, $50. Which honestly is some pretty incredible negotiating skills. Anyway, Francis is looking around while he's doing this, and he sees the TV. And it's, you know, blank, it's got the multiple different colored bars, and then all of a sudden, boom, he sees them on TV, and there's a news guy, and he's like, hey, newsworthy stuff here, and he says, these two are fugitives. I don't actually think I don't think he actually says their names, but he's like, hey, John and this other guy, right there, they're fugitives, so if you see them, you know, report it to the police, and turn them in, because they're bad people. We don't want bad people around, because bad people do bad things, like shoot at trains, which is why they're fugitives, because they think that John Francis shot at the train. Anyway, they're like, oh fuck, and they're like, we gotta get out of here. And he's like, alright, the bill is whatever, $70. Yeah, I'm not gonna pay you. What? And then throws a grenade at him, and the nice shop owner dies in an explosion. So they escape in the shop owner's truck, and because, you know, their main characters manage not to die. And then they're here again. So, let me see if I can explain what happened. In the first episode, you know, John lost his house and got an apartment. That apartment was burned down by Francis here, who you're in the eyes of him. You're seeing what he's seeing. And so he's like, oh no, my house is burned down. Hey, you want to help me kill my friends? Okay. So they get on a train. They take that train. That train was attacked. John and Francis are thought to be the culprits of the attack. So they're now fugitives. Instead of trying to prove their innocence, they decide to kill somebody, rob him, steal his truck, even already after they killed him and robbed him, and ended up right back at the same place they started at. And they meet some other guy who's now living in the bombed out building. Bombed out because, you know, Francis blew it up. Yeah. It's a lot to follow. That's why I'm explaining it. I'm room for rent explaining it. Ha ha ha. Anyway, they talk to the guy who's living there. They're like, hey, we're fugitives on the run. Can you help us out, man? And he's like, yo, sure, man. How about I give you a ton of guns, even though you already have a ton of guns? And he's like, ah, cool, man. That would be great. Yeah, we're gonna be best pals. And then, you don't actually see John and Francis again until, I think it's Room for Rent 6, and the guy who's in the building magically turns into Duke Nukem. Oh, and then there's this little short I put at the end. So if you want to actually see that, go watch it. Anyway, Room for Rent 3, they wake up, they're on the train. The train's being attacked. They get off the train. Now they're suspects of the attack. So they run away and they kill somebody and they rob him and then they rob him again even though he's dead. And then they ended up right back where they started at the beginning of 2. So they move backwards. Like a lot. Like now they're under pursuit of arrest for a crime they didn't commit, as well as like 3 crimes they actually did commit. So Let's see what happened to them in Room for Rent 6 explained. Yes! This is Room for Rent 4 explained. How do I start this? I know exactly how. Room for Rent 4 is the worst fucking video in the entire series. It has zero plot relevance whatsoever. I threw it in there because I thought, oh hey, I'm directing a stupid video series. Let me get some different perspectives. And look at it fucking turned out. Well, I mean, you can see how it turned out if you watch Room for Rent 4, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's awful. It's annoying. I'm gonna redo it probably. The whole series, make it all better. But anyway, what Room for Rent 4 is, it's Room for Rent 3 from the perspective of the people who are shooting at John and Francis. Francis, once again, is the sound. So these guys, you know, typical bad guys. Oh, we're here in America, so we must be Russian because we're shooting in Cold War and whatever. You know, who gives a flying fuck? Who really cares why they... Who cares about Room for Rent 4? No one. It's hard to find somebody who cares about Room for Rent that isn't me. Let alone somebody who... I don't know, okay? 4 is horrible. Let me just get that across. Get it through your head. 4 is really bad, okay? So, guys, the 3 bad Russian guys, they show up and they shoot the train. Why? Because I fucking made the video. That's why, okay? There's no reason for them to be there. But I make up some reason just to keep the video going. So it's 3 Russian guys, Chaz, Vic, and Gimpy. Yes, Gimpy. From Room for Rent 10, 11, and 12. And 9. And obviously 4. Anyway, Gimpy's out there, he's guarding the truck. Chaz and Vic, they're like, alright Gimpy, you guard the truck. He says, okay. And so, Chaz and Vic go inside to get the files that the boss wanted. Who's the boss? I don't know, I haven't established that yet. What are the files for? I don't know, I haven't established that yet. This video is purely just... think like filler, but it wasn't intended filler. I made this. This is another one of cases of I didn't know what to do, but I just wanted to do something. So I made this horrible fucking abomination of a video of a machinima. It's awful. See, the video is making me sick. Anyway, so they shoot the train. Chaz and Vic go in, they get the files. Alright, we got the files. Get out of here. Gimpy, get the truck started. Okay. And then Gimpy blows up. Because I thought it would be funny, I guess. And all this useless shit I try to make relevant later. Gimpy actually becomes the main character. Well, one of the main characters in the last trilogy of Room for Rent, the Carter trilogy. The other two get their episode and whatever. But like, the whole series, these guys had nothing to do with anything. Anyway, now excuse me. Oh man. You ever like choke on something? And it kind of feels like you vomited in your mouth? I got right now. That's what I got. Anyway, we're looking at Bill and his butler. You know Bill, the guy who won the house. So Bill's a dumbass. The butler's a jackass. So Bill's watching TV, playing a stupid fucking video game. Ha ha ha, yeah. Playing a game in a game, shut up. The butler comes over, he's like, hey, can I watch the news? He's like, no. Oh, fuck, I died. Alright, I guess you can watch the news now. And they hear that, you know, John's a fugitive now. The butler's like, hey, why don't you go turn him in? Get some money. And he's like, dumbass, I'm rich already. Then I think he said he wants to go watch pornography or something. The butler's like, can I come too? He calls him a fag because it's kind of gay. He say, hey, can I watch porn with you? Like, whatever, man. It's Room for Rent 4. Room for Rent 4 is bad. And I'm in pain because of how bad this is. My throat hurts now. But you don't need to hear my fucking problems, right? You just want to understand what's going on. Nothing's going on. This is Room for Rent 4, where nothing happens. Nothing. It's garbage. Because I made Room for Rent 4, I had a whole different perspectives part of this series, which focused on these dumbasses. I suppose it kept the series going, but I may have found another way, you know, I mean, this doesn't really matter. Anyway, after Bill and his butler done being dumbasses, we go back to these two dumbasses who are on the phone with their boss. He's like, hey, did you get the shit? And they're like, yeah, we got the shit. And he's like, alright, did you bring back my truck? And they're like, yeah, well, yeah, the truck is looking good. Did you bring it back? You're breaking up. You know, like hang up on it or whatever. And then some weirdo, Roman Bellic, yeah, from GTA 4, calls them on the phone and he's just like, titties, titties, titties. I'm not making out, that's the actual line in the thing. If you want to see it, you can. Once again, I don't recommend it. Then General Shepard calls him. Because I decided, hey, fuck it, why not make it even dumber? I gotta do a recap like they do with all the other videos. Okay? So it starts out with John Von Denzel and Francis the Zombort in the train. These three Russians attack the train. They go and get the files. Why? Because the boss wants them. Who's the boss? Doesn't matter. They get the files. Bill and the butler hear that John's a fugitive on the news, thanks to these guys. Because they attacked the train. They think John and Francis attacked the train. So, and that's not really important, but that happened. So these guys call their boss and like, hey, we got the shit. You know, it's like, alright, good. Come on back. But the boss is suspicious, because they dodged the truck question. So anyway, now I'm in room for rent 4. Okay? Guy. What's going on? This is the TheBoneHeadClan. Blazer. Blazer of the TheBoneHeadClan. Blazer like soda of the TheBoneHeadClan. Alright, here we go. Room for rent 5. Because this is room for rent 5 explained. Room for Rent 5 was the 5th installment in the Room for Rent series. And, the two Russian guys that were in Room for Rent 4. No, 3 of them. Gimpy's dead. But the 2 that are alive, Vic and Chaz, you know, they get a call from their boss and like, how did it go? And they're like, yeah, it went great. And he's like, you know, he doesn't believe that. Yeah. So they lie to him, and he suspects that they lied to him. And he talks to himself for a very long time. And he thinks, you know what? I think they lied to me. I'm going to put a hit out on them. I'm going to tell everyone to kill them. And babbles a lot of useless nonsense. I thought it was funny at the time. It's still kind of funny. It's not like laugh out loud funny. It's not like it's very, very soft humor, subtle but not hidden. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Whatever. He babbles to himself. He explains that he's putting a hit out on them, which takes a very long time. There's a dead guy right there on the ground. And then, you know, he has a walk around the base. And he's walking around the base, checking on everybody. Hey, you doing your job? Do I have to kill you? I'm doing my job, boss. I don't know. You don't look like you're doing it very good. I am. Okay. You know, he checks on every room. Hey, look at this thing. Look at that thing. What a nice day out. It's nice and weathery out. Nice and snowy. But, actually, that's pretty much it for, like, I don't know, 4 minutes, maybe 5 of this full video. Just him walking around. He talks to people. But nothing important happens other than him saying he's putting a hit out. I made this one with an entirely different cast of people. Instead of Super White 98, I had Super Black 2000. He was good at being the boss. Over this part here, he walks into a window and he's angry that somebody installed Windows, so he kills him. Because he hates Windows. Anyway, then there was another guy, the window guy died. Everybody was different. No returning actors in this. All new actors. So, I don't have much to say, because not much happens. I can't really give, I don't know. Alright, well, look here, right? In the 5th video, when I was making Room for an 8, I made a sneak peek of it. And this was before it got cancelled, and then I uncanceled it and made it a completely different video. And I put a link to it on the bomb thing they were hitting with knives. It was either a bomb or a submarine, but either way, I don't think they should have been hitting it with knives. The one guy, there were 3 of them hitting the thing. No, I'm sorry, there were 2 of them. It's been a while. There were 2 of them hitting the bomb with the knives. And one of them was just... He kept saying, like, poopy, 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 over and over. So I muted him. And he didn't know about it. He thought the poopy, poopy, poopy was in the video. He smokes weed now, I think. Not in the video, I think the guy is a pot smoker. I didn't know him personally. Anyway, the boss makes an announcement over the intercom. He's like telling everybody, alright, you gotta kill these guys, Gimpy, Chaz, and Vic. At this point, he doesn't know Gimpy's already dead. I don't think he cares. He's probably happy, but he would be happy if he knew he was dead. But anyway, putting a hit out on everybody. He's saying, alright, you kill Gimpy, you kill Chaz, and you kill Vic if you even fucking see them. You understand me? And they're like, nobody says anything because it's over an intercom. You know, he's not gonna be able to hear it. And then, you know, he's done talking on the intercom, and he starts talking about himself for a while. He goes, oh, I'm great. I'm like the son of Mr. T and Richard Nixon. All the women love me. I'm hairy, and I look like a whale with strength, you know. He doesn't realize that the intercom's on. It was a lot of nonsense for, I think, a minute. Hang on, let me check. I can check while I'm doing this thing. No, for like a minute and a half he's talking about himself. No! I'm wrong! 2 minutes! I don't know how to count, apparently. 2 minutes he's talking about himself. Isn't that nice? And the whole time, you just get to stare at an empty window with no one moving. Because at this point, I don't think I had anybody in the match with me still. I think I just had the boss talk for a while. And party chat. I recorded it. And I muted everybody else. This was fun making this. I didn't actually have any problems with this. Except for the poopy thing, which, you know, I just muted him. So, otherwise, he was helpful. He just wanted to say poopy. Yeah, no, the whole cast I was working with was, you know, they really thought this was fun because it was different. You know, they'd never done it before. They didn't want to do it again because it wasn't terribly exciting, but they enjoyed it doing it once. They're like, hey, this is something different. Sure, I'll help. I'm not doing anything, you know. And one of the guys, he got angry, I don't know. He either got angry or he just left. He was on dinner or something. He was a bucko. But, I mean, you could watch this one. There's nothing wrong with watching it, but a lot of it, it's like a filler episode, you know, where maybe one important thing happens right at the beginning, and then after that, nothing. Just nothing, you know what I mean? So, you could skip it. If you really want to see it, go for it. You don't need to watch this one. It's not bad. It's not like Room for Rent 4 where you just don't need to. I'm just gonna jump right into this. It's gonna be kind of a blind explanation because I haven't seen this in a while. I remember it, but I just haven't seen it, so things are gonna be out of place where I say them. This is John here, the main guy, John Von Denzel. You know, they just got back from the train, being shot at and whatever. They're fugitives, so they find this dumbass, Duke Nukem, for some reason. Because, you know, hey, I got an idea. I'm making movies. I like Duke Nukem. I'm gonna put Duke Nukem in the fucking video. So they go talk to him, he gives them guns, they sleep there. And then, like, Duke Nukem's cooking breakfast, and John's like, hey, what are you cooking for breakfast? And Duke Nukem's like, hey, I'm cooking steak. He's like, you fucking cow killer, you. And he's like, fuck you, I like steak. Yeah. And then Bill's outside. Bill? No, not Bill. Bill's the bad guy in all this. He's the guy who won the house. Francis is outside. The soundboard is outside. And he screams like he's in trouble. And Duke Nukem runs out. He's like, I'm coming to save you, cause I'm Duke Nukem. And then, you know, Francis shoots him because he thinks it's funny. And then John comes out. Duke Nukem. Oh no, Duke Nukem, what happened to you? You've been shot. How could this happen? Francis, was it you? Stay alive, Duke. You are the greatest. You can live. You're impressive. I'm gonna teabag you. And then Duke Nukem, you know, dies. So I thought, hey, let me do a flashback of Duke Nukem's life, and I put the entire fucking intro from Duke Nukem Forever in this. That's all this is. This whole. How long? It starts, I'm gonna say at 1:20, it ends. I don't know where it ends. I can't view it while I'm recording this, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna look it up on the channel and I'll tell you exactly where it is. Here we go. TheBoneHeadClan on YouTube. You should check it out. I'm checking it out. My fucking channel. Room for Rent 6. I'll tell you exactly where is it. Where the fuck's Room for Rent 6? I didn't remove it. It should be fucking here. Oh no, I can't find it. Room for Rent. Room for Rent 6. Okay. It starts at like 150? It starts at like 145 and ends at 312. I'm looking back at the video now, I can see that he's pissing. So the intro itself is over, but Duke Nukem is pissing. Why? Cause hey, you know, I just got Duke Nukem Forever. You know, I thought it was funny if I just had a clip of me pissing for... The pissing goes on for, from 3:15 until 3:55. No, 3:58. There's a lot of just shit in this video. It's like Room for Rent 4 was bad. You know, it was like a filler, but it was a bad filler I didn't know what to do with. This I wanted to do something. as again, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to do something, and this was the result. You ever, like, I mean, I've never smoked weed before, but I feel like you get an idea when you smoke weed that just isn't a good idea. But you don't know that while you're smoking weed, and you go and do it. And then you wake up, you're like, what the fuck is this? I kind of feel like that's what I was thinking. I just hadn't done Room for Rent in a long time. The last one I did, like, this was done in June of 2011. And the last one was done in March. So it just been so long, I just wanted to do something, you know, and I wanted to continue it. The beginning was a continuation, and then there's a whole fucking intro, because I wanted to make it 7 minutes long. It wasn't even 7 minutes long, and the majority of it was repetitive stuff. If I cut out every actual important thing, which, you know, I mean, pertaining to the plot, or the characters, and who they are, what they're doing, right, there would probably be a minute or two of actual content. Like, there's an after credit scene, the credit itself takes like a minute, the after credit takes like a minute or two, the intro takes a minute or two, combined with the pissing, and then I had a clip from an old montage I did. Yeah, it's only like 2 to 3 minutes of actual content. So I'm looking right here. I cut out a tiny bit of the end, just because I didn't want to wait seeing the word "the end" for a whole minute. So it's probably 7.5 minutes long, something like that. I cut it down by like 10 seconds. Then I don't know how accurate I can be. What's going on right now is they're dancing to the song "Teach Me How to Dougie," because the butler likes dancing, and Bill just won the boss fight in Duke Nukem Forever. Which I don't, like, you see the screens on the TV, which I was actually kind of proud of myself. I learned how to use the picture-in-picture. I know it sounds simple and like, oh yeah, you're fucking useless, you can't do picture-in-picture, what the hell, you know. But back then, like, the program was still new to me. I didn't do any effects. I didn't slow up stuff. I didn't cut anything, really, you know. And it was just neat for me. And then pissing again. And at the end here, well, I'm going to mute the audio. You can listen to everything in the actual video. There, you can skip. It's like an anime. There are huge arcs. Arcs? There's a whole big amount of space you can just skip over in this video. You can skip Room for Rent 4 entirely. But this, I mean, you could skip this entirely too. I think. Yeah, no, I don't think anything important happens, like, well, except they kill Duke Nukem. I think you could kind of figure that when they throw somebody over a cliff, but actually, he wasn't even Duke Nukem in Room for Rent 3. It was just some random guy. And now, Room for Rent 6, I added a Duke Nukem voice, so they could have just killed the guy. It doesn't matter. So anyway, you know, they show up, they wake up in the house, kill somebody, and welcome to Room for Rent Explained. Is it a Room for Rent 7? Yeah, Room for Rent 7 Explained. Not Explained 7. Hang on, let me check what the fuck I even titled these things. No, yeah, Room for Rent 7 Explained. Or I explain Room for Rent 7. What the plot is, how the process went of making it, my thoughts on it, all that fucking jargon. So, yeah, let's get right into it. I'm gonna start right now. I forget a lot of it. I'm gonna watch it kind of as I'm talking about it. I remember it not being that great though. This is an old ass intro. Blazer Like Soda. I did that in Little Big Planet. That's probably in a couple of the other ones. But anyway, Room for Rent 7 starts off with John and the soundboard. His name was Francis in the show. I mean, what the fuck does it matter? John Francis killed Duke Nukem in the last episode, and they dumped his body into the sewer drainage ditch so it washes away. His body ends up in the toilet of Bill's house. Bill is the guy who won John's house in the poker game in Room for Rent 1. Since I was garbage at making videos, and both in the thought process and in editing and all that shit, there's just a square picture of Duke Nukem's head, and then an audio clip of a guy taking a shit from Duke Nukem pasted into this little video here. Also, you can see spectating and menu and all that shit on the screen, top left, top middle. Because as I said, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was like a retard. Anyway, in this video, oh no! This is the one where they just sit and watch TV for like 5 minutes. They watch, it's Bill and his butler watch old TheBoneHeadClan videos. The one that's on the TV right now is, I think this is Mile High Club Part 2. But, I mean, it really doesn't matter. The whole thing is, garbage. Mile High Club 1. I'm gonna talk about Mile High Club, because nothing's going on here. In Mile High Club, there was a terrorist. A guy in full armor goes into an airport, points a gun at the clerk, and says, I need to get on a plane. The guy suspects nothing is up, says the plane is full, and he gets shot in the face. Then the terrorist goes to board the plane, and he gets shot in the face. And then the other terrorist, who accidentally shot him in the face, flies the plane, crashes it, and causes a nuclear explosion. That's currently what's going on right now. Also, you can tell the voice acting is bad. Anyway, they're watching TV for way too long, much longer than they should. And it ends up being nighttime. Bill's by himself, still being annoying, just talking, rambling, because I told him to just say whatever, because I had no script. I never made a script back in these days, because I thought it'd be more fun just to wing it, and sometimes it honestly was more fun. I suppose if I wrote a script, it would probably be bad anyway. That would probably be an incentive for me to stop making videos, if I had made scripts and the videos were still bad. I mean, I told people what to say, but there was nothing like really planned down. Like, I'd say a sentence, and then like, they'd say, wait, what was the sentence? And I'd say something like different, because I changed my mind. So if I had actually written scripts, and everything turned out bad, I might be like, wow, I'm a failure, I'm never gonna make videos. I think they're good now, they're not like this. And this is Room for Rent, this is the epitome of garbage. Yeah, the series kind of showed improvement, but really it's not a worthwhile series at all. So anyway, he goes to sleep, gets tired, can't sleep, wakes up and decides to have a midnight snack. Little does he know, there's a ghost in his house. I'm not like stuck, I'm just trying to think kind of words to describe what I was thinking when I thought of this. I ran out of ideas, I guess. This was gonna be, I think the episode I wanted to show kind of what Bill was doing, and then it was immediately gonna go back to John Francis trying to get to Bill's house. But I ended up extending it and making a ghost show up. It just got stupid. I mean, it was stupid before this, but this is a whole other level, a whole other layer added to the cake of stupid. So anyway, Bill and the butler, well, Bill goes to hide, the butler goes over there, and he's like, oh shit, there's a ghost in the house, it was scary as shit, and he's like, you retard, there's no ghost in the house, and he's like, yes there is, fuck you, don't call me a retard, call the Ghostbusters. And they call the Ghostbusters, and one guy shows up with like, an AK, not an AK, Commando? I don't know what the fuck the gun was. He shows up with just like a regular gun. An LMG. I don't know what type, but he shows up with an LMG. It's another soundboard, it's Master Chief, because I thought it'd be funny. Because back in these days, I had seen this guy so far in films, and he did videos using soundboards, and they came out really good. There were some other videos that used soundboards too, but there was the main inspiration. That's the main draw. I took that concept and I wanted to apply that to a series of my own. Unfortunately, I didn't know how to make videos. So, incorporating a soundboard, incorporating good dialogue is hard enough. When you add the fact that I know nothing about the field I'm going into, it doesn't work. You know, it was fun. It was fun to do, but it doesn't work. It's bad. Anyway, Ghostbusters shows up. He starts talking nonsense. Bill gets really mad. It was kind of funny. The guy who played Bill, his name was Danker Anthony. He started screaming his head off and cursing because they told him to, and his parents heard him. They told him he had to get off Xbox. They get him, like, grounded. They grounded him or something. I forgot. It was really funny. But it sucked for me. Thinking back, it's funny. Because I couldn't continue making the video. Which is probably good. Nobody wants to see more of 7. Except maybe people who liked 4. Those people might want to see more of 7. 7 is like the spiritual successor to 4, but the actual successor to 6. But anyway, that's basically it. That's all 7 had to offer. What was it that it had to offer? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Bill watches TV. There's a ghost in his house. The fucking video ends. That's it. That's all that happens. It might as well have not existed. It shouldn't have existed, really. But you know, shit happens. Anyway, that's Room for Rent 7. I hope you enjoyed Room for Rent 7 Explained. Soon, Room for Rent 8 Explained. So, this is Room for Rent 8 Explained. I wanted to continue doing these. That's why I did 7. That was yesterday, I did 7. Today I'm doing 8. And then I'm gonna do 9, 10, 11, and then 12. And maybe I'll do some extra ones, I don't fucking know, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm gonna start here. In the beginning of 8, there's a whole intro of like what happened 1 through 7. Brings you up to date. I'm not going to start with that. I'm just going to start from where it says the end. The end is the end of the recap and the beginning of Red 8. I think it's pretty fucking common sense. I don't think I need to explain this shit to any of you. You're not stupid. I'm not stupid. I was stupid when I made this, but that's not now. Anyway, that's beside the point. So, Room for Rent 8, it starts with Chaz and Vic. Cause you know, the 2 Russian guys, there was Chaz, Vic, and Gimpy. Gimpy's dead. Chaz and Vic are still trying to get back to their boss. So they take the Sky Car down to a base? Some kind of base? I don't know, they're walking back. They have no way of getting back, so they found this fucking Sky Car, and they're using that to go down. And then it swaps over to John and the soundboard. They've just finished killing Duke Nukem, and so they're on their way to go find Bill. They meet a toll person who collects a toll you can't go through, or else, I don't know. But anyway, fuck him, they just shoot him in the face, because they're not going to pay a toll. And they keep going. Then he goes to Bill's house. Bill's talking to his butler. I think he wanted a sandwich, if I'm not mistaken. He says, "Butler, where's my fucking sandwich?" And the butler's like, "Here you go." And he's like, "This is awful," and he shoots him. And meanwhile, John and the soundboard are outside. They just got there. He says, "Alright, we should go in quietly." And Francis, the soundboard, just runs in and starts shooting bullets like a maniac. Of course, none of them hit Bill, because plot. Then John shows up. Bill starts to run away. John shoots the soundboard in the face because I was fucking done with using the soundboard. But at this point, I just wanted him gone, and John never liked him in the first place. And then there's this really nice chase scene. I guess it's not nice, per se, but I enjoyed it. Like, it was fun to make. The song I didn't like. I used Yell Dead Cell from Metal Gear Solid 2, because I was in the first room for an idea. I thought, this kind of whole first video I thought would be like a nice callback to everything that's happened. So I was trying to make it something good, you know, I was trying to be ambitious with it, regardless of it turning out the way it did. I still enjoyed the final product, watching it again. Not too fond of it, thought it was alright. It's kind of hard to understand what's going on, especially since nothing before this made any sense whatsoever. Anyway, John chases Bill, he shoots Bill, Bill is now dead. It cuts back to Vic and Chaz and what they're doing. They've just gotten off the lift and they find this helicopter and they're like, oh, great, we can use this to get back to the boss. Now, what I thought would be really kind of cool. See, this helicopter on screen is actually a kill streak, I think it's called, you can get in Call of Duty. So it looks like they're actually flying that helicopter. I thought that would be nice. It's not just they're magically in a helicopter, they actually found one. Anyway, Chaz accidentally shoots a missile. No, Chaz is flying. Vic accidentally shoots a missile. That missile ends up hitting John in the face, because I thought it'd be funny, and it's a great way to kill them. Meanwhile, the boss is like sitting in his room on his computer, just googling shit or whatever. This guy comes in, he says, hey, someone took one of our helicopters. The boss is like, shit, we'll activate self-destruct. So they're in it, the self-destruct activates, and they begin to crash. The missile that I said hits John, of course, hits John, and that's the end of him. All the characters on John's side of Room for Rent die. So Bill's dead, the soundboard's dead, John's dead, all those fucking people are dead. Meanwhile, Vic and Chaz are in a helicopter that's crashing, so the Russian side of Room for Rent is still alive. That means Vic, Chaz, the boss, and any of his lackeys, they're all still alive. John, the soundboard, Bill, and all the other guys like Duke Nukem and forever rest in peace, the toll officer, are dead. So you don't have to worry about them anymore. This was initially intended to be the last video, until I realized, hey, half of the cast is still alive. They all need to die. And then I made 9. And I killed literally everyone else. Of course, I didn't, actually, because Room for Rent 10 was made, but it was intended to be the end. This was intended to be the end, then 9 was intended to be the end. And then I made 10 and 11 at the same time, which were both intended to be the end. But the way I did that, I thought, alright, I have to make 12. And 12 is the ending. I still didn't officially cancel this series, because I kind of thought it would be funny to make another one. But, I might just do that as a joke. So yeah, this is the end of Room for Rent, until 9. So, this is the longest credits I think I've ever done, except for the original Room for Rent. This was, as I said, 8 was a complete homage to the original Room for Rent. That's why the credits are so long, that's why there's the songs and the characters are used in the way they are. What they say is, well, why they say what they say is because of Room for Rent 1. Anyway, and then I teased Room for Rent 9 at the end. Even though I had no intention of doing it until I realized, wait, I actually need to do Room for Rent 9. And that's the end of it. That's it. I fucking loved Room for Rent 9. I had so much fun making that. I had my current friends working on it with me. I had my past friends working on it with me. I had people from the very beginning of the TheBoneHeadClan who came back to help work on Room for Rent 9. This was just so much fun. It was such a blast. Blast from the past, really. Making something great. What I wanted to do from the beginning, really. There was so much hype. I mean, not for anyone else. It was like I was the only one who cared. But for me, there was so much hype. And the hype was real. Oh my god. And that fucking intro I did. Fucking just everything lined up so well. The music, the timing, the people. I started off with the intro like a trailer. The trailer for Room for 9 was the intro, and I had the nice music, and it was really pumping, and it was just to get you into the action. Said the hype was real, for me at least. It was a blast. And you know, if the logo comes up, Room for 9, it's on fire like the teaser. Video starts. As previously, it's really short. It's not like 8 where it's this huge fucking recap. It was really just, it took up half the video. No. There was at least 6 minutes of actual Room for Rent 9 footage. It starts off, the helicopter that was self-destructing, they crash into the boss's base. Chaz and Vic are talking to each other. Gimpy shows up. What the fuck? What's Gimpy doing here? So then Gimpy says, oh, you know, it was a crazy story. And they have a flashback to Room for Rent 4, my most hated probably my most hated machinima of all time. But the best part is where Gimpy explodes and dies. It cuts right back to that, him waking up from the explosion. He's like, holy shit! Oh my god! I'm alive! I was just in an explosion! This is crazy! You know, you're taken back. This is another view from Gimpy's side of what's going on. And then this guy shows up and he's like, holy shit, you're alive. And Gimpy's like, yeah, you must be a zombie. What? No. So he starts shooting at him and chasing him. And this is really nice chase scene. What I did for this is I actually, since this is during Room for Rent 3 and 4, I showed John and the soundboard. And then right after that, I showed Gimpy running away from this crazy guy. And I thought that was kind of funny. Like, just to kind of put it in perspective of where it takes place, you know? Oh my god, that's where it is, you know? And it's kind of fun to see the main characters from another angle. I actually did this entire thing with, 2 people. The scene where they're shooting each other in front of the cars, when the guy ducks down, he shoots him in the face. What I did is I had the one guy stand there, he ducks, and then I stopped it, moved the guy around to the other side, and then he would shoot him in the face. You know what I'm saying? You can't answer me back, I know. I wish I could elaborate on it more. Anyway, Chaz and Vic, they hear Gimpy's story, then they watch him die, and they're like, well, okay, let's go talk to the boss. And then they walk and talk to the boss. You know, it's a walking scene, it's like another 10 seconds. So I guess it's boring, but it's just, I don't really know. But anyway, they go and they talk to the boss, and they're like, hey, you know, we're here, we're alive. And the boss is like, what? You're not supposed to be alive. And they're like, what do you mean? He's like, I put a hit out, you're supposed to be dead. And they're like, well, fuck you, and then they shoot him. And then they're like, well, you know what, we just killed the boss, we should probably get the fuck out of here. And there's this really cool action scene. I thought it was really cool. I think I also did this with 3 people. You know, it's me as the camera and the gun. The other guy is Chaz, that's one of my friends who I said was there for the beginning. He played the other guy, and then the only other person was basically every bad guy. He died over and over and over. So anyway, they run, they escape, and they jump on the 2 snowmobiles. Now granted, this part I guess is kind of boring. I tried to make it action with some music, but they didn't talk at all. It's just the mission from MW2 in co-op. Actually, this is a good time to really go more in depth with the whole scene explanation. When I said before Gimpy was alive and I was explaining the whole behind the car, in Room for Rent 3, you know, John and the soundboard go to a food corner weed shop, and then they blow it up and they leave. So that was kind of like supposed to happen in that same video. So they're in the weed shop, and meanwhile outside, Gimpy and this crazy guy are chasing each other. Gimpy runs, he hides behind the truck, like he ducks down, there's a guy behind him who gets shot in the face. That guy is actually the person shooting at Gimpy. You know, it's not him, but it's the same person who's doing the shooting. So I had only 3 people, me as the camera, and then the other 2 guys. One of them's Gimpy, one of them's the crazy guy. So Gimpy would stand there, he'd duck down, he'd go to the other side of the car and shoot the guy in the face. Then Gimpy would stand back up. It'd swap to the other thing. The crazy guy would duck down, and he would go to the other side of the truck and shoot the other guy in the face, and then the other guy would stand back up. It's kind of just like camera tricks I did. Anyway, snowmobile thing's done. One of them makes the jump, the other one does not. And he's like, yeah, I'm alive, I did it, holy shit, this is great. And he looks down and he just sees a dead guy on the floor. He's like, oh shit. And then he gets shot in the head. And that's it. It's the end of Room for Rent 9. I know it sounds like, what, that's it? Because I was explaining it the whole time. Oh my god, but just, I had so much fun. It was such a blast. You know, I wanted it to be the end. I wanted 8 to be the end, and then 9 I really thought was going to be the end. So I really put a lot of care and work into it. As I said, I got people from the beginning back. I got my new friends, the old friends, current friends, that kind of stuff. I had these really nice long credits, and they don't take up half the video. They're just nice and long, because the video is long as it is. Not long, but it's a good amount. I guess the snowmobile wasn't intended to be a cop-out. I thought that would go with the flow of it, and I think it went really okay. That was probably the low part of the video. Anyway, I had the music. I had the song Never Turn Back, with like the piano riff, because I thought it's like, hey look, you know, it's over. This is the end of Room for Rent. And
part of it's like actiony, which was the intro. The intro's actiony, the credits are the kind of mellow kind of part, you know, like, oh, it's over. I guess with Room for Rent 9, I was kind of not trying to make people forget about the rest of the show, but make people forget the bad parts. Just be like, yeah, remember all those good times with Room for Rent? Really, it was mostly for me, but I treated it as if there were other people interested and they were really excited for it. They were really hyped and really wanted to see a conclusion to Room for Rent, you know? In the credits, I did kind of like where they are now segments. Most of them were like, oh, well, he's dead. These guys, remember them from the first episode? Well, they're all drug addicts now or whatever. Some cops are forgettable characters, so why do I even mention them? But I did. And then, of course, I mentioned the food porn shop. I showed little pictures and a little explanation. The voice does not actually match the written explanation. I told him to just say this line, I wrote something similar to it. Which is kind of like how the actual, the actual scripting, if you can call it, of Room for Rent went. I say one thing, and then they're like, what? And I was like, just say something close to it. Anyway, that's it. That's the end of Room for Rent 9. Did I forget to mention, there's an after credit if you stayed till the end?
I'm back, baby.
Duke Nukem's alive. Goodbye! Room for Rent 10 explained. I really enjoyed making Room for Rent 10. Room for Rent 10 and 11, actually, were part of the same development process. Here we go. Room for Rent Returns is kind of what I initially started this as. Room for Rent 9 was the last one I did, and 8 was supposed to be the ending, and then I was like, well, shit, I gotta do 9, because not everyone's dead. Then I did 9, I'm like, good, everyone's dead. And I'm like, I kinda wanna do another one. And I'm like, alright, so let's make it Duke Nukem. He ain't dead, I had that in the last one. Gimpy, he died like twice already, let's make him immortal. And then I'm just like, fuck it, let's bring in a new character. And that's kinda how Room for Rent 10 happened. It's based around this guy, Carter Kill. These two guys in the beginning, this is a agency boss, and this is an agent of the agency. They're talking, and they're like, the boss didn't die in the killing, which is the Russian boss. And they're like, oh shit, we gotta kill him. Send in Carter Kill. And then here's Carter Kill. Carter Kill's kind of crazy. He's a mercenary. I'm trying to think of a word to describe him. He's not like really crazy, because he's not like insane. He's a nut. Anyway, Carter Kill likes killing things. I wanted the name Carter Kill because I tried to think of those like ridiculous action heroes like that have the actiony, I guess the actiony names, you know, like Jack Steele or Jason Rocket Launcher, you know. So Carter Kill was my way of doing that. So the video starts, Carter Kill is killing people. He gets contacted by the agency. He sees a ghost. I'm gonna ignore that. It's not the same ghost you're thinking of from 7. It's a different ghost. He meets Gimpy. Gimpy starts to follow him. He doesn't want Gimpy to follow him, but he won't stop following him. And, you know what I did again? In every single Room for Rent, I had a pair of characters. There was John and the soundboard. There was Chaz and Vic. And now there's Carter and Gimpy. I never thought about it before, but there's always a pair. Anyway, Gimpy chases Carter all the way to the airport. Gimpy just wants to help Carter. Carter thinks he's annoying, but knows Gimpy won't go away. So, Gimpy miraculously flies a plane. They crash it into the base of the boss. You know, the Russian boss. And they're like, alright, now what? Like, we gotta climb that mountain. And it's like, oh, shit. And what I did here is I thought it'd be funny to put in ice climbers. Them actually climbing the mountain. And what I did here, I wanted to have them talk, because this is kind of boring just to watch by itself. And the two guys, Carter and Gimpy, couldn't come up with anything. They were having a lot of trouble with that, so I just said something. I was like, come on, Gimpy, we gotta do this. Okay, shut up. Okay, you didn't hear what I said? You said, I said, shut up. Shut up, okay. You know. And then they just like that, so they repeated it. There's actually a line missing you can hear. Nobody remembers what it was, but there's like a 2 or 3 second gap where a line was supposed to be. Oh, this part, this is good. I wanted to really emphasize how annoying Gimpy was. So Gimpy, I kind of made his voice slightly louder in the scene. I got the guy who voiced him talk a little squeakier. Of course, this annoys the hell out of Carter Kill, whose sensitivity is like is like on 50. He's like, your voice is like 1,000 suns piercing into my brain. Anyway, and then Gimpy, being this stupid little dipshit, runs over, creates a distraction, and blows something up with a rocket launcher. The guards don't notice. They're like, that was an explosion. It's probably nothing. Let's go check behind that crate. And that's where the action scene starts. Now, I've never been great at action scenes up until this point. I've gotten better. But, the action has never really been there, you know? I mean, people have been shooting people standing around, but nothing really goes fast, nothing's exciting. You can kind of see it if you watched it. Overall, making Room for Rent 10 and 11. I was making 10 and 11 at the same time. As soon as 10 ends, 11 begins. They're kind of like two versions of the same video. Which, of course, I was already lining myself up to make 12 when I do that, because no one ends on 11. 10 you could end on. 11's just weird. 12 was kick-ass. But 10 and 11, well, you see 10. When you watch 10, you know what it is. Then you see 11, it's if Gimpy didn't exist. So everything happens, but just without Gimpy. So it's not the exact same. It's like, well, okay, Carter wouldn't say this or do that because Gimpy isn't there, you know? When I was working on Room for Rent 10, I had a completely different group of people. So as I said, with 9, new people, current people, old people, everybody came back to work on Room for Rent 9. Room for Rent 10 was completely separated from all the other Room for Rents. They debated getting one of the old voice actors back, and I ended up not doing that. I thought about doing that for 12. I ended up not doing that as well. I think I only had about 5 people, including myself. I'm the camera. So you see just where they're looking whenever I turn. I actually am playing the game, but what you can do in Call of Duty is if you turn on hardcore and you hold the throwing knife, everything goes off the screen. That's how you record a lot of this stuff. I had, let's see, one guy played Carter Kill, one guy was Gimpy, I was the camera, and then I think I had 2 other people play people from the agency, if I remember correctly. Basically 3 people, like right there, that's a different character. It said Quinn K, but it was Quinn 0620, something like Jackknife 64, Rin K. I'm pretty sure there were 2 other people. One other people, plus me. Never mind. Anyway, so at this point in the video, Gimpy accidentally shoots Carter. And you might have noticed, in and out, the voice actor for Carter Kill, his voice cuts to different things. At some points it's like, not muffled, but it sounds like it's going through a filter, and other times it's clear as day, bright as rain. I used half of the voice from an Xbox mic, and half of it was recorded with the mic in front of my computer. Which, thinking back now, that wasn't such a good idea. I thought about going back and redoing the voices, but, Room for Rent 10... No, I like Room for Rent 10, but Room for Rent 10, going back that far, it doesn't seem practical. Anyway, Gimpy gets mad. He's like, Carter, I'll avenge you. I'll kill the BoneHeadClan. Because they wrote that Carter Kill would die, and because Gimpy tried to kill the BoneHeadClan wrote Gimpy out of the show, and then an ambient voice, aka the viewer, questioned, what happened? Oh, we wrote Gimpy out of the show. He's like, what? He tried to kill the BoneHeadClan, and then I show all these scenes with Gimpy existing, but also not existing, just kind of like a joke. And that's where the idea of Room for Rent 11 came from, which was being made at the same time. It's just Room for Rent 10, but Gimpy didn't exist. And Room for Rent 11 actually came out before Room for Rent 10, funnily enough. It wasn't intended, but it was funny. And I'm gonna release the Explain just like that. I'm so annoyed right now. I just recorded the entire Explain for Room for Rent 11, and I fucking had it on the wrong setting, so it didn't actually record it. Let's just try this again. Room for Rent returns, Room for Rent 11. Room for Rent 11 is an alternate version of 10, where Gimpy does not exist. In 10, Carter and Gimpy go to kill his boss. The boss ends up being like, hey, go away. And they're like, okay. And then Gimpy accidentally kills Carter. Then Gimpy tries to kill the TheBoneHeadClan. Gimpy gets written out of the show, which creates room for an 11, which is room for an 10 if Gimpy didn't exist. In room for an 11, Carter Kill is alive, Gimpy doesn't exist, and Carter Kill does kill the boss. So these are two separate universes that coexist. They don't exist chronologically. Well, in a way they do. They exist alongside each other. Room for an 11 wouldn't exist without room for an 10, but room for an 10 and 11 don't exist one after the other. You know what I mean? So, like, say you have a line of oranges, labeled 1 through 11. 11 wouldn't be right after 10, it would be, like, to the left of 10. But, like, left diagonally. So it's like, it's not the next step, it's like a step forward, but off to the left a little. It's weird. Think, you know how in, like Zelda, if, like, the story goes, if Link dies, it creates a different timeline? So think if Link didn't exist to begin with, that would be room for an 11. You know, so the same shit happens, but in a different way. In this one, I added some scenes. I removed a lot, because Gimpy doesn't exist. The scenes I added were specifically Carter Kill things, because Carter Kill's the main guy. I actually added in a scene from an old video I did called Prisoner. As you can see right now, it looks kind of ugly, it's old, it's blocky looking. It's more square, you know, it's not as widescreen as this one, regardless of this not being widescreen. Which I thought was a fun way to incorporate something old I had into a new video, and also avoid having to record more than I wanted to. Also, I put a fucking commercial right smack in the middle of 11. There wasn't much to 11, really. With all this, like, extra garbage, like, if you actually look at everything that's different in 11, there's probably only a minute or two worth of content that's actually brand new. Like, the whole action scene is the exact same thing. This is just a random commercial that's fake, which is would be funny. It's not even just a commercial, I messed with it, so he yelled yo and bitch a lot. Most of it, I guess, is just filler. I mean, I thought it was funny. It made me laugh, so it is funny. Even if you don't like it, I like it. But there's not much here. This is how the setup of Room for Rent 12 got started, though. Thinking about it, Room for Rent 8 kind of sucked, because there wasn't much content in that. There's probably the same amount in that, if not less than there is in 11. So that's something, huh? 11 was fun to make, though. I made 11 at the same time I did 10. So I had the same people work on it. Looking at 10, it feels a lot more vibrant, a lot more going on than 11, but 11 was actually done at the same time. Just something about it feels more empty, I don't know what it is. Probably because it is mostly filler. But it was fun to make. I enjoyed it. I know at the end, Carter has this long speech, which I don't remember how he came up with it. Something Carter killed, because I Carter killing Ken. The guy who did the speech, who voiced it, didn't like looking at it again. For some reason, I guess he thought it was cheesy or dumb or stupid or something. But I like it. I remember, actually, like, thinking about it, going back just real quick, everything was a lot shorter in this. Just everything was just really quick. Like, the ice climbers thing was like 2 or 3 seconds. The climbing was 2 or 3 seconds. The plane, everything happened just really, really, really quick. Except for the chase scene. Alright, going back to this. The Carter's giving his speech, and then of course you can't kill Carter Kill. But Carter Kill dies. He doesn't actually die, because Room for Rent 12 gets made. But I mean, it doesn't matter. This is so screwed up anyway. That's the end of Room for Rent 11 explained. Soon I will do Room for Rent 12 explained. You know, so stick around, I don't fucking know. Room for Rent 12 is the final installment in the Room for Rent series. And it's unofficial, but it's pretty much official. Let's begin. Now, just to be clear, I'm doing Room for Rent 12 Refined, which is the same video, just a bit nicer. It runs at a better frame rate. It looks better. I tweaked a bunch of things. It's just nicer. It starts off with Carter shooting the boss, and then the boss comes back alive, and he splits into two bosses, two separate bosses. They're the same guy, but because of how weird Room for Rent 10 and 11 were, it created like a time paradox kind of thing. And there are two bosses now. Carter is still alive in this version. He survives the explosion. And Gimpy is stuck in limbo. Now, what I thought would be kind of funny is to go back to the agency, with the agency boss and the agent whose name is Harrison or Harper or Henry, the name is not clear yet, and have them have basically the same conversation, but now it takes place during post Room for Rent 10, 11. I just thought that'd be funny. Anyway, Carter survives the explosion, and of course Gimpy shows up. He shoots him in the face, because that's what Carter does. He kills things, and he got scared, so that's his first reaction. He's also never met Gimpy before. He did in 10. He didn't in 11, because he didn't exist in 11. But this is 12. This is post 11. So, really, you look at it as 11 is the canon one. But 10 has to be canon. So 11, it's weird, never mind. Anyway, Gimpy explains that he's stuck in limbo. He's kind of like a ghost. He's immortal, but he wasn't killed this time. He was written out of the show, so now he's stuck in between shows. Gimpy threatens to be really annoying if Carter doesn't help him get his original body back. I guess body form makes more sense, not body necessarily. In this video, Room for Rent 12, I showed both the sides of the two bosses kind of being goofy, setting up their new base of operations and everything. And I show Carter and Gimpy on their ways to kill the bosses. It's fairly short, but I think it was well made enough to be classified as the finale. I enjoyed it very much. Making this, the whole process was just really fun. As we go back to Carter and Gimpy, they're talking about how they're going to get inside the base. Before I made Room for Rent 12, I had made this really crappy action scene, and I used explosions that were square explosions, and it looked really bad. You can still find it, but I wanted to reuse that because I thought it would be funny how nice Room for Rent 12 is, and then as a contrast, this terrible action scene, I thought it would be goofy. But I felt that making Room for Rent 12, it should be nice all around, and people might not get the joke, it's more of a joke for myself, a meta joke, I guess. So I tweaked the action scene to actually look fairly decent. It looks ugly, and it's not a great action scene. But it doesn't look bad, like really bad, like how it used to. But I still mocked it in the video itself. There's a lot of fourth wall breaking humor, being as Gimpy is in between shows. That's a great example of it. Really, really fun stuff. Anyway, after the whole action scene, Carter sneaks past two guards, and he finds the two bosses. He kills one of them right away, and the other makes a sprint for it. I wanted to use a lot of different angles, make it kind of actiony, and I thought I did that fairly well. Really, Room for Rent 12 was the culmination of all of my good and bad filmmaking together, all my tricks I learned. I got rid of all the bad stuff. I knew how to record voice, I knew how to move the characters, I knew how to shoot camera angles and shots, what would look nice, how to cut clips so they fit in really well. So at one point you could be shooting the gun, and at another angle it's right in front of the gun and it follows the bullet, Room for Rent 12 is, I don't know, a magnum opus, I guess, even though it's, capping off of a terrible series. It's one of my best videos I've ever made, in my opinion, because I loved it so much. It's really fun to watch still to this day. You don't have to watch the rest of Room for Rent. It's confusing enough as it is. And that's it. That's the end of it.
I said that if I ever made another Room for Rent, I would just have the fucking world explode. And that's exactly what I did. This is Room for Rent 13.